Oh, boy. So, Chathany. Our options are Dragon Ball, analog horror. Terminator, analog horror. Left 4 Dead, analog horror. New World Order, as suggested by Ninja. Undertale, analog horror. Children with Black Eyes. And the newest Lost Utopia Films entry, Sub-Zero Terror. Chathany, feel free to decide what we start with. By all means. What do you want to do first? What shall it be? Either New World Order or Sub-Zero. All of Ori's children have black eyes after work. No, they get black eyes when they refuse to work. You have to get it right. The children belong in the fields. Ugh. Ugh. Any more preferences? Ah. Oh. E. Crack the knuckles a little bit. Well, Chathany, I suppose we're gonna start with you. Lost Utopia Film, Sub-Zero Terror, Godzilla, Animal, found footage. It's not even really horror. It's just cool. I can't believe this series is so fucking good.
As monsters continue to ravage our world, we look to the past for answers to save our future.
You know, the documentary-style approach to this series is really just the best.
Bygone era hold. Hello, I'm Gene Maldonado.
Hi, Gene. I haven't seen you in quite a number of uploads.
Mysteries of the past. This is Living.
Opening with Godzilla monsters performing a great civil service. Oh. More people should do the documentary approach to things like this. You know that? User Twerkster the mode hates this and Marble Hornets. It's okay.
After the rise of the superfauna,
we'll throw Twerkster T mode over the coals at some point.
Began Operation Earthworm,
it's gonna be like that bit in Ace Ventura 2 when he does the trials.
Past mythologies and locate superfauna before they attack. These myths led to the discovery of several monsters. In Peru, the mountain god Varan.
That's one big man, baby.
Then in Australia, the giant snake Nazuki.
That's disgusting.
Finally, an underground microclimate in Canada led to the giant carnivore Gorosaurus.
I like the deep cuts. The deep cuts are really deep.
Of the many legends told, there was one event that was referenced across most ancient cultures. The awesome leviathans that once roamed the earth battled each other. In the aftermath, many were believed to be trapped in a state of suspended animation.
The cryostasis.
It was believed to have happened on a stretch of land near the North Pole, named Rupus Nigra, Latin for Black Rock.
This is the real reason the Nazis tried to get into it.
Debated the island's existence, as it's reportedly located in heavy fog and a magnetic.
What's Solomon doing in all this? Still the best.
Additionally,
my man Solomon, he's got his own merchandise.
These monstrous snowmen were said to guard the island from outsiders. After the Kismet bomb was used to stop Godzilla in 1954, irradiated particles from the aftermath were carried to the North Pole. As a result, there's been an alarming rise in melting icebergs.
Yeah, nuclear weapons will do that.
Superfauna were to be believed,
the Reeses are getting smaller, Ori. It's disgusting, isn't it?
And soon.
Ugh.
Scientists Dr. Quinn Darien and Dr. Carl Majors were selected to lead the expedition to Black Rock. Together, Their research helped understand the superfauna, as well as create defensive strategies against them.
It turns out blowing things up is very effective.
As a sinister new monster awakened.
Look at him. Oh, he's a fast boy. You know, there's a reason in Evangelion they made cities, like, able to be moved underground. Kari, hello. I don't think we talk about that enough, by the way.
Rodan was successfully redirected
that Tokyo can just be moved underground in Evangelion.
Godzilla.
Very useful.
The two were also instrumental in creating Mechanicom, which gave scientists the ability to study monsters closer than ever before.
That's my boy. That's my guy.
The perfect fighting machine is here. The strength of King Kong. The armor plate protection of a battleship. Join the Mechanicom
Because y'all like
Training
psychic
Academy
damage for
today.
some reason? Yeah, it seems like.
Additionally, there were proponents of the guardian monster theory, the idea that some superfauna had a natural allegiance to humanity.
Since the arrival of Godzilla, we've traveled the world to understand these magnificent creatures. Some stories feature superfauna that would protect humanity.
Okay, I like the filter you're doing here, but this is clearly still a high-quality camera you're using to record this.
Unfortunately, all we've found are stories and the remains of a protector
Mechanicom
on
being the
Skull
first gen mechs
Island.
is a good
But if the
angle.
legends
It's
are
so
true,
good!
BlackRock may have the answers we've been looking for.
The date is July 8, 1966. After weeks of searching, dozens of military personnel move forward into the unknown.
Look, honey, a seal. Get the club. You know, if I could build, like, a high-quality bunker, I would live in Antarctica. As long as the infrastructure for everything I could possibly need is in place, I'm good with that.
Hey, up here!
The monolith.
These runes here seem familiar, but I can't place it. Do you recognize them?
Yes. Yes. This writing here. Look.
This is exactly how
It's
people who
Atlantean.
record, like, expedition documentaries act when the camera's rolling, by the
Thousands of
way.
miles from the ruins. Perhaps this is ancestral land. The graveyard?
A frozen
Possibly.
over hatch in
See those
New
symbols there at the
Swabia,
top?
finding Ori hunched
They
over a
represent
body.
the guardian monsters. This creature could very well be one of them.
I'm still doing fine. Shut the door, you're letting the stank out.
Camp Seahawk was quickly established on the shore of the island.
Mechanicong's so fucking cool.
As the crew began venturing deeper,
Yeah, just move
they
a big
found more
chunk of ice,
questions
it's my guy!
than answers.
Yo, submarine.
After a couple of weeks, creatures of all sizes were discovered in various states of suspended animation. Some even showed traces of radioactivity.
Isn't that normal? I feel like that's normal.
I thought it was another Godzilla, but this may be a different species entirely. Look,
Is it the -1-1?
see how its skin has a reddish hue and a more pronounced dorsal structure?
Huh.
This is something
Not streaming
else.
for a while and needing to open his bunker
Could
to
even
just
be a
see
female.
with the life-size Midna. Yeah?
Upon receiving news of a second Godzilla,
Gonna be a
which
long
experts have
few
named
weeks.
Gigantus, an additional team was assembled to assist. What they found, however, was unexpected.
-1 Gigantus is a good bit. It really is.
Camp Seahawk had been destroyed, but few bodies were recovered. The only clues were
They
the
buried
footprints
the
of a creature
Mechanicong up to his
estimated to be
neck,
around 100
like they
feet
do at the
tall.
beach.
Also discovered was a damaged film camera.
Now, there's something you don't see every day. The Yeti. Oh, Lord, they coming. Oh, here they come. Oh, they don't like it. Fuck his day up, Mechanicong! The Yeti have arrived.
Although chances for survivors were low, many remained hopeful, and a rescue operation was deemed necessary. Following the footprints, an incredible sight was discovered. A community of abominable snowmen conducting a ritual to a strange rock formation. These creatures were believed to be the Wachuki. Upon further surveillance, human prisoners were spotted entering the cave with the Wachuki. The rescue strategy.
You know, it doesn't
was
matter
to
how
attack
big a
near
mammal
the
is,
shrine,
as long as you shoot it
leaving
in the
Wachuki
face, it'll
out
die.
So a secondary team could enter the cave and recover survivors. In a matter of days, a modest military force from Greenland had assembled on the island.
They are good for something. Repair him. Send him in.
The Battle of Black Rock could begin.
Dude, these guys must be freaking their shit seeing a tank for the first time. Looks inside. Snow. More likely than you think. Oh, he's upset. He just ate that, man. Round 2, bitch boy. Oh, he's got a rock. Rocks are very dangerous. Spear!
As the military battled the Wachuki, the secondary team had successfully infiltrated their mountain lair.
Wow, this is just like Skyrim. Spear
Inside,
off the top of the
Gary
cave.
and other members of the team were discovered in a makeshift prison. Carl Majors was never found.
It's going to be okay, Dr. Daring. We're prepping the load, and we'll be en route to extraction.
That seems like a problem. Guys, the Yetis are praying. This is a bad thing. There's some bad shit about to happen. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that's a bad one. Oh, it is a problem, it is. You know, you got the broad. I feel like you could turn around and leave now. Thief considering suicide after demanding he gets his PC fixed. Lazy ass. You know, I'm really not sure how choppers would be useful in this situation. Because I don't see any, like, much in the way of an
Air transport is gone.
attack
Returning
option
to base.
strapped to those things.
While the rescue team successfully made it to shore, the monster
Fork
the one
mod
shipping
everywhere
called
in the
Varagon
Oriverse as
was
well.
right behind
I
them.
will not burden Fork.
With their forces trapped, there was little hope.
That is a burden I do
for
not
survival.
expect him to carry, as it is too much for any man to carry, which is why I have slaves doing it. The spears!
We need a medic.
It was Quinn Darien who suggested one last radical idea.
Mechanicon will handle the thing. He's got a grenade!
So coming this way.
Over there! Look!
It's happening. Yeah! Woo! Finally, a main eventer has hit the scene. Get his ass!
Tell them to call off attacking it. It's on our side.
Forget it. The boats are ready. We're leaving.
Oh,
Finally, Gamera gets some play. At long last. I feel like it's been an eternity. Friend of all children. No, not like that. From the top row, coffin drop! SFM of Gamera visiting Little St. James to have a few choice words with the people in that island.
I repeat, do not engage.
Gamera, he's got a submarine! Oh no! Oh, you done fucked up now, boy. This is what happens when a mid-card heel faction has to fuck with a main event face. Turns out shooting the monkeys is very easy. He's going to cast prismatic spray.
Everyone, hang on to something!
Gamera, you're getting very close.
As forces retreated, Varagon revealed one last ability that witnesses could only describe. as a rainbow of death. Despite the colorful nature of the name, this horrifying attack left the island shore decimated.
Long control. Going down.
Maragon, now designated as Subject 13, escaped to the valleys of Iceland. Thankfully, most of the discovered species remained in their frozen state. One megafauna awoke and escaped into the sea during battle.
Oh, hey, man.
Its current location is unknown. In the aftermath, the Wachuki forces seemed all but...
That's literally an asset from Skyrim, by the way. That helmet, I recognize that.
Over 100 lives were lost.
Thanks, brah.
Today, Dr. Quinn Darien is being treated for radiation poisoning and for what doctors believe is a temporary schizophrenic episode. What happened to Dr. Majors remains a mystery. The monster that experts now call Gamma has since become protective of Blackrock, leading to an ongoing conflict as military forces attempt to access the home.
You know, he went out of his way to defend a ship.
Due to Gamera's behavior,
You'd think you'd put two and two
status,
together, you
he's been
stupid
designated
bastards.
to the Guardian class as Subject G.
G,
The confirmed
G,
existence of a benevolent monster has entranced the science community as various parties search the world for more protectors.
Just
The
pointing at the
collected
sign for
artifacts of the
Mothra.
island continue to be studied. As fantastical as some stories may seem, they're being taken.
Now there's
with
your
the utmost
WrestleMania sign to
seriousness.
point at.
None of this work would be possible without the bravery of the scientists and military personnel that venture into the unknown with hope for a better world. That will conclude today's episode. This is Gene Maldonado, inviting you to be with us again soon for another look at living with monsters.
This channel is fucking incredible. Gamera coming out of the ice is such a pop-off moment, man. Alright, well, this is the best thing we're gonna get tonight. We had to get it out of the way early so we can watch a bunch of, like, dumb bullshit. I'm very excited to see where this series goes in the future.
We rolling? Okay, good. Miss Darien, can you recount anything about your time trapped on the island?
I can try.
The
They
monkeys.
led us into a dark cave, into a room of light. It's hard to explain. Majors was the first to mention having a migraine. I tried my best to help, but that night he was in agony. Soon others had symptoms. The Wachuki watched us closely, speaking in a language I had never heard. I couldn't help but feel we were part of an experiment. Then one morning, there was only a few of us.
Majors
I am
gave his life for
haunted
this
by the
research
thoughts
and
of what
Twerk
happened to
hates it.
Majors. I can't
Carl
shake
Denham
this
risked
feeling
his
that we
life to
upset
get
a
that
natural
footage of
balance.
Skull Island, and that selfish bitch didn't care.
Only the monsters can protect us now.
Dude, when Mechagodzilla shows up in this series in like 3 years, it's gonna be the hypest shit imaginable. We're getting into the alien stuff kind of early, aren't we? Yo, it's him!
It's not an island. It's a ship.
10 out of 10 episode. Fantastic. Phenomenal. Amazing. Top heel debut for a cliffhanger. Fucking stellar. Phenomenal. Alright, chat. Pick your poison for what we do next. We got Dragon Ball. We got Terminator. We got Left 4 Dead. We got the New World Order. We got Undertale. And we got Children with Black Eyes. New World Order. More knowledge must be gathered. Is it like NWO New World Order? I don't think it's going to be like the NWO now. Sadly, I don't think we're going to be dealing with anything quite that decent. Yeah, every video in the playlist is just Hulk Hogan sitting down in front of the camera and just staring at it for like 5 minutes. Are users on Twitter still incapable of disliking Hulk Hogan correctly? Give it to Ninja. Alright, fine. Yes. Evergreen, evidently. So be it. So, from Ockleg. Osleg. Sky 1 EAS scenario is the beginning of the playlist. You remember how freaked out people were
Sky
like
has interrupted
a number of years ago
due to an emergency taking
when
place.
that one video
Please
from
remain calm and pay
Local
attention
58
to the
came up
following message. Her
with the
Majesty's
government message that
has
says, go out
requested
your
an
front lawn and
important
fucking
message
kill
to be
yourself.
broadcasted to all
And everyone's
television
freaked
channels
out.
across the United Kingdom regarding
Simpler
new
times.
laws that are intended to protect the nation. Her Majesty and Tony Blair
Work only
have
recently
stated that
hearing
Britain
TNA
is
Hogan's
truly
fake
at a breaking
NWO
point,
thing.
and that the country must undergo
Is
some
Twerk
major
aware
changes to remain safe and secure. Otherwise,
of
further
RVD's
crises are sure
TNA
to
theme?
follow. From this day forward, all civilians of the
Someone
United
should make
Kingdom
her
are required to
more
use
aware
ID verification or another
of
form
RVD's
authentication
TNA
if
theme.
they wish to access certain essential services, such as healthcare, education, and purchasing goods. This system will be implemented using state-of-the-art scanners that automatically read the identification of your choice. These scanners will be installed in facilities such as supermarkets, schools, and hospitals. Refusal to comply with this new system will result in denial of access to these essential services. The Prime
You know,
Minister
Chaptany,
has
as much as I
stated
would
that
like
it
to
is
be a
vital for
cyborg
everyone
beyond the
to
scope of
comply
human
with these
comprehension,
changes to keep those around us
I
safe.
don't think getting
For further
microchipped
safety,
is a very
all
viable
residents
strategy,
must now
despite the
equip their
fact they would
homes with a
logically
highly
have that
advanced
installed in every
recording
single
device.
cybernetic thing
To
I could
prevent
possibly
any
install
harm
into
to
myself.
UK civilians, these devices will record movement, sound, and
This is
even
what's happening in
thoughts
the UK
inside
right
your
now? Yeah, if you're
household.
white.
Any dangerous thoughts or words spoken will be recorded with this device and will be automatically sent to the government for further review. If you are found guilty, you will be punished severely and may be denied access to essential services. These devices will be shipped to every household and must be set up right away.
Trying his best
If
not to
your
laugh every
household is
time he
seen
does his
without it,
entrance.
you and those associated with you are subject
Then
to
he gets a chair in the face from a guy in a
By
Sting
not
mask,
abiding
and
to
the
these
mask
new
comes
laws,
off, and it's
you are
just
committing
Sting.
a selfish act and are putting those who you deeply care about at risk. Together, we must work to create a more safe British society. To prevent any form of fraud, crime, or suspicious transactions, Traditional currency such as cash will be made
Want to be like the
obsolete
Major from Ghost in the
and have no
Shell?
value
You
from
remember
this
that
day
bit in
forward.
Standalone
If
Complex
you
where the
have any
12-year-old
physical
boy is in a
currency, you
hotel
must now
room with her when
exchange
she's
it at your
naked,
local
and
bank.
he's like, so
This
like, can androids
transition
still
to an
fuck?
entirely
And she's like,
cashless
want to
society
find out.
will last around 14 days, and all physical currency must be transferred to bank accounts
what a
or
good
remain obsolete forever. It's mandatory all businesses comply with this new change. Businesses that do not adapt or comply with this change will cease to exist.
This isn't even a horror series, this is just what they're doing in Britain.
To ensure that any illicit
Yeah.
or suspicious organizations will face severe
That's true.
repercussions.
That's accurate.
Any form of rebellion will not be tolerated under any circumstances.
You guys are going to have to solve this at some point, you're aware of that.
Internet access across several forums used by individuals who plan to protest or pose a threat to these changes. Please be aware that if you participate in any protest, whether online or in the streets, the government has stated that you
New
should
Ghost in the
expect
Shell
a knock
anime
at
looks
the
pretty
door
good.
shortly.
I'll be honest, I haven't looked
This
at the
also
series in any
includes
context since
partaking in
Standalone
and
Complex.
planning rebellion against the New World Order. The New World Order involves the restructuring of our society for good, allowing dangerous speech and unlawful acts to be monitored and eradicated. The New World Order shall also benefit humanity thanks to the help of several world governments. Most countries, including the United Kingdom, which is partaking in the New World Order, now require all residents to be vaccinated to be tracked through their location. These vaccines will apply a code to each individual, making them equal and giving them protection. Each code
You remember when they
assigned to
wouldn't let me get
civilian
on a
will
plane
state
unless I
whether
took
they
a
are
booster
allowed
shot?
to access essential
I remember.
services or forbidden from doing so. Resident
People
codes
finding out
shall
the
also
manga does
forbid any
booty
malicious
faces.
actors from buying a property or accessing public transport. In this new society, everything you used to own now belongs to the government, and you will simply be renting it, whether that be vehicles, homes, clothing, or more. This will further allow the transition to a more fair and equal world.
You know, you can dress up
Nobody
communism
should be left
however you
behind
want,
in
we're
the
still
New
going to kill
World
every
Order,
single one of
and
you.
everyone is expected to comply. Mandatory
Fumos!
euthanasia has been enforced for those who threaten the foundations that uphold how nations now function.
Was the new Trigun anime as bad as it looked? Yes.
Transparency is the key to how this new society will function. Those caught being dishonest will not be taken lightly. If you know anyone conspiring against these new changes, it is your duty to report them immediately. If you know that someone is engaging in activities against the New World and fail to report them, or if you are associated with any outlaws, you will be arrested and may face a minimum prison sentence of 15 years for treason. As this broadcast is being shown, there have already been a few arrests made for those who have been
You know, there's a lot of
disobedient.
treasonous
Just
things
know
that
if
happen
you
in
have
the
not
First
obeyed
World,
the
and
New
no one
World
ever gets in
Order,
trouble
it's only
for
a
it.
matter of time before the police come to your door. If you are being detained, you must remain compliant, as you have already made the situation worse. Refusing arrest will result in a harsher sentence and possibly further sanctions from the government. Police have also been given the right to use lethal force against those who are violent to any form of authority. In some severe cases, law enforcement
They won't
are
ask the
authorized
future
to slaughter
doctors and
civilians in
engineers to
cold
do this,
blood.
by the way.
While this may sound harsh, it's important that these laws are implemented to make the world a safer and more secure place
Resist
for
it!
everyone.
Resist it!
And those who oppose this must be dealt with to the full extent of the law. Her Majesty's
Ooh.
government and those who are higher would like to thank you for your understanding. Only government-approved programming shall now resume.
And then it cuts to Seinfeld. Thinking about banging your sister? That's a thought crime. Didn't Google get sued like a couple years ago because they were still tracking incognito tabs?
Visit
Doing that shit right now.
www.direct.gov.uk
Absolutely!
/thoughtcrimes to report any dangerous thoughts today.
What are we watching now? A documentary on the current state of the United Kingdom.
If you are watching this, you have been detained by your government with the aid of NATUS.
Wasn't a big issue that Britain's prisons are literally too full?
That posed a risk.
You know, you could probably turn one of your provinces into a giant prison, I'll be honest. You guys could probably do that over there.
Due to the severity of your crimes, you have been taken to a recently constructed hidden detention facility built by the company far from the reaches of those who are
it's called Wales. I was thinking Wales.
This facility hosts the most severe offenders who have not obeyed. It's important.
Chat, which states was it that George Carlin said we should just turn into fucking prisons?
Natural life.
And just build a giant fucking wall and make it into a reality TV show.
Your thoughts will continue to be monitored by the
just see what happens.
And us to prevent any escape attempts before they happen. Any plans or attempts will be recorded, and you will be subject to further.
Was it Missouri? Just throw all the murderers into Missouri?
Execution. We do not recognize your rights here or the legality of your treatment during your stay here as a prisoner. You will be subject to the most excruciating form of unpaid torture and labor that will benefit and serve the nation and establishment you have willingly betrayed. You will soon be escorted to your holding cell, where you will spend the majority
once every
of your
5
time,
minutes.
whether eating or sleeping. The only time you may leave your cell is during work hours, when you will be required to do
implement corporal punishment.
For a minimum of 12 hours.
No, that would require
question.
some semblance of logic.
Refusal to partake in mandatory work will result in further extreme consequences over a prolonged period of time. You will receive a
It'd be scarier with clinical sugar-coated language.
Not a single one more. These meals will provide only the bare minimum necessary for you to survive your stay at the facility. When performing manual labor, you must do so with pride, a smile on your face, and the correct attitude, regardless of how grueling the
Why doesn't everyone
is.
that goes to prison just invest in the unarmed tree?
Right to use
Are they
physical
stupid?
Punishment and force for those who rebel against the rules enforced and orders. Here at NATAS Incorporated, we take any form of protest or rebellion extremely seriously and will not tolerate it under any circumstance. We understand that some may use death as a means to escape being here by attempting to commit suicide. Just know that this shall not be tolerated, and any thought or plan regarding this will be seen and punished. Those attempting to take their own lives will face the most severe treatment for doing so. Those with the most extreme behavior will be sent to a high-security cell located in the maximum security area to prevent any further incidents and to isolate the suspect even further, forcing them to descend into insanity. Psychological punishment will be used as well at this facility, and staff will not hesitate to use it. You will also be shortly receiving your facility uniform that will have your inmate number, which will be used to identify you and your cell. It's mandatory that you wear this uniform at all times. You will also be shortly receiving your facility uniform, which will have your inmate number, which will be used to identify you and your cell. It's mandatory that you wear this uniform at all times.
I mean, wear both of them at the same time?
You will be closely monitored 24/7 throughout your stay, regardless of where your cell is located, and you will soon be injected with a vaccine containing a chip that tracks your movements.
Thinking about which guard touches kids, all of them. So true.
All of our facilities are located in hidden locations, prohibiting anyone other than staff from leaving. Exits from the building are heavily guarded and have the most lethal measures to ensure that you remain inside the facility. You will face the harshest penalties if you are caught attempting to leave. Like
I feel like every country needs RoboCop.
Your rights during your stay here. You will be reduced to playthings and mere objects for our staff and security, facing even harsher treatment if you dare to step out of line in the slightest. This will be your new permanent home, a hell filled with pain and agony beyond anything you could have imagined. Just know that this is what your thought crimes or speech does to society and the establishment.
It takes place in the United Kingdom, so that was just bound to be the case anyway.
Come to understand the consequences of your speech and
why did Ninja want us to watch
this here in the first place? That concludes this introductory video. We hope your time here will bring you to the worst of the worst to correct your behavior and way of thinking.
What incentive do I have to improve my behavior if you plan on keeping me in here forever anyway?
If you are watching this tape, congratulations, you have been employed by Natus Incorporated to protect the country from serious threats, including dangerous thoughts, speech, and crimes that threaten the government and this organization. Working here is a gigantic responsibility, and you will be expected to carry out tasks to the best of your ability every day. You must take the disclaimer shown at the beginning seriously. Leaking the contents of this tape or viewing it without being an employee of the company will result in immediate termination.
I don't feel very terminated.
As you may know, Natus Incorporated houses the most dangerous criminals and thinkers and keeps them confined from the reaches of those in society who comply with the government and the New World Order. All of our facilities are located in a discreet place, with some even being built underground or underneath the sea.
How'd you manage the under the sea one?
Deadly and near impossible. Inmates are monitored 24/7 by using cutting-edge technology and with the help of diligent staff who prioritize the security of not just the facility, but also shielding the public from those who have been sent here for their crimes. We are funded by the government and work with them to ensure that we operate within the shadows, with few people outside of the company who know about our existence. For the safety of the public, all employees must not share any information about our facilities with outsiders or mention the existence of the organization.
You misspelled organization.
If you leak classified information,
I know because I played
details
Kingdom
about the
Hearts.
Natus Corporation, you will be immediately terminated.
You think Britain
from
has
your
remotely
position
enough
and
money to fund
permanently
this?
detained as an inmate.
No.
As a facility
Not
guard,
even
it is your
remotely.
responsibility to ensure that inmates are in the right place at the right time and engaged in the appropriate activity, whether that is in their cell,
That's the
performing
UK
manual
spelling?
labor,
Stop
or
spelling it
remaining in
wrong!
their designated cell block. You must respond to any suspicious behavior.
There is
such
no
as inmates
U
going
in
missing,
color.
disobedience, or unusual conduct, even if it means physical punishment.
It is
and other
pronounced
measures.
caramel!
In some instances, as a penalty for an inmate behaves, you may restrict the inmate's privileges and remaining rights, such as access
We
to
don't,
food,
but they'll tax us
basic
into
comforts,
oblivion to fund it.
necessities, and even important treatment.
You have to get your
The
TV
government
license and your
Natus
milkshake
Incorporated
license and
only
your
house
air
the most
conditioner
dangerous
license.
and violent civilians who oppose new societal norms and the New World Order as a whole. With that stated, do not even hesitate to use the most harsh treatment against our prisoners here, even if it's lethal. You will not face any penalties for any form of punishment used against inmates, as they have betrayed your country and even the entire establishment. When going from one place to another in one of our
That
facilities,
license is likely
you must
coming.
close all doors and lock them behind you to prevent.
You know, the
any
United
prisoners
States
from
was formed
escaping
for
or
very,
harming you.
very, very, very,
If an
very
inmate
minuscule
escapes due to lack
reasons
of
compared
care
to the
regarding
shit that they're
security,
doing over
you will
there
be held
nowadays. I
accountable.
want you to be aware of that.
In a situation where a prisoner becomes violent,
I just
or
want you to know
aggressive,
that.
you may use lethal force as a last resort if necessary. Alternatively, do not hesitate to call for backup from other staff members to further defuse the situation. If you encounter any suspicious conduct from a staff member, it's important that you report it immediately, especially if it's a security concern. We recognize your rights as a staff member in comparison to inmates and provide you with medical care and treatment in the event of injury or assault. Several infirmaries are located in most of our facilities across the country. In the event of injury, please seek help from one of our medical departments, as they will be happy to help. As an additional right, you will be permitted to have a daily break at any time. Before taking a break,
15
ensure
minutes
that a
or
staff
30?
member is nearby to cover your role while you are gone so that no serious incidents occur out of the sight of security or the appropriate personnel. During your shift, you must be aware of your surroundings, as letting your guard down could result in catastrophic consequences. If you have a major concern regarding security, you must report it to your higher-ups, as they will deal with it swiftly and will thank you for making our facilities a safer place. Regarding security concerns, no visitors or personnel other than staff or arriving inmates will be permitted to enter the building. If you see anyone who you suspect is not authorized to be inside the building, you have the right to terminate them on site, even if they are outside the facility. Doing so allows us to protect the public and continue normal operations discreetly. We must keep this organization hidden as much as possible, no matter the costs, even if it means using lethal force on site. We would like to thank you for viewing this tape and its contents, which are designed to help you perform your role at Natus INC to the best of your ability and knowledge during your employment.
You know,
If
your
you have
pitch
any
is not half
questions,
bad, I'll be
do not
honest.
be afraid to ask your higher-ups or request to view this tape more for further information.
I feel very tended to. The ducks have arrived.
NWO Incorporated has reported a serious breach of security in this facility, which has resulted in multiple prisoners rioting or escaping. The existence of the organization is in grave danger, as the likelihood of the public
Someone
knowing
has
our
thought
existence
about the
and how we
hard
operate
R.
is extremely high if we do not take control of the situation immediately. All guards and staff must secure the facility at once without hesitation. At this time, it's estimated that roughly 8 inmates have escaped, with several rioting and attempting to break free to once again cause harm to innocent civilians of the nation and the UK government. The entire facility is under lockdown until further notice and will be lifted once all escaped prisoners have been located. All staff must ensure that all doors are locked and closed, preventing anyone from entering or leaving. If you see any inmate outside of their cell, you must escort them to their correct cell and firmly lock the door to prevent any further security breaches or escapes from occurring.
But you just told me I was
Do not
allowed
be
to shoot
afraid
them
to
if I
use
felt
violent
like it.
force if necessary, if any prisoner refuses to cooperate. Those who are attempting to escape or are seen on the outskirts of the facility are to be shot on sight without warning, completely stopping their escape attempt and the outside world being exposed to their deadly thoughts and speech. At the time of this alert, several inmates have formed multiple groups and protests and have started to attack staff, with some even being injured with serious wounds due to violent assaults by prisoners. It's your God-given duty and responsibility to take control of the situation, as the fate of the organization and your career now rests in your hands. Several guards
Do I get a promotion if I do a good job?
Entrance to monitor for any unauthorized entries.
If I kill them real good, do I get something good?
If you are called upon to do so, you must respond efficiently and carry out any essential tasks needed to take back control of the prison. While it's not known what's caused this security breach, staff members who abuse their role by setting inmates free will be discharged from NWO Incorporated and detained. Those detained for being responsible for the security breach will likely
They
be
brought
sent
up
to the
God and
maximum
Announcer is
security
sentenced to a
area
billion
of the
years in the
building.
evil-ass grave.
Inmates who have been rioting or partaking in violent
always the
conduct
ones you
are to be
least
sent to
suspect.
solitary confinement or maximum security as a consequence for their actions, either temporarily or permanently, depending on the severity of the behavior. We cannot allow the situation to further
You know, the New
spiral
World
or
Order is
become
basically
more of a
just
risk
Reddit.
than it is.
If
As
you think
stated
about it.
before,
It
the
really
existence
is.
of the organization is in grave danger. This situation is truly no joke. All staff must respond efficiently and take this large breach in security seriously.
Are we waxing
No
poetic
individual
for
who
this
is in the
long if this is an
outside
active
world
thing
can
that's
know
happening
about our
here?
whereabouts, as it will expose them to our methods of dealing with inmates. The facility must be protected at all costs, even if it means putting your life in the face of danger itself. There have been some instances of several
New World
prisoners
Order
obtaining
2000
deadly
was
weapons
better than
that can be
this.
used to harm or
New
kill
World Order
others during the
2000 is
riots
better than
inside
more
the
things
building.
than you'd think.
If you see an inmate carrying an offensive weapon, you are required to disarm them by all means necessary. As a last resort, if you have no choice, you have the right and permission to terminate anyone who is armed and unable to be restrained by any means possible. You will not receive any penalties or disciplinary action for doing so. While these measures may seem extreme at first, understand that extreme solutions are required to tackle this situation. If the security breach cannot be resolved and the likelihood of the public becoming aware of us is high, higher authorities have access to a red nuclear button that will destroy the entire facility and everything nearby. This button must only be used as a last resort.
Doesn't
At
every
last but not
SCP
least,
site have a
the
nuke
outside
button?
world must not know who we truly are.
One of these days, we're going to have to actually read some SCPs that I like. Because there are some decent ones out there.
This from the
Not just the ones I want to fuck.
group of individuals like yourself dedicated to exposing
How many prisoners have escaped as this video plays? A lot more than they'd probably be willing to
We pride
admit.
ourselves in seeking the truth and serving those who are vulnerable. As you may know by now,
How much
NWO
longer is this?
Incorporated
That's a
has been
good
attempting
question.
to stop us from
That
liberating
is a
British
very
society
excellent
from its
question.
shackles and
What that
oppression
is.
for an extremely long time.
This is
We are thankful to
roughly the
announce that one
halfway
of our
point
latest operations was
of the
successful,
playlist.
and several political prisoners who were held captive
This video is
escaped
4
and
minutes
now
long, the
join
next
us.
one's 7
Our
minutes
team
long, next one's a
consists
minute and a
of
half,
average
then
civilians
after
who
that
want
is
to
3 and a
fight
half,
back, as
then a
well as
minute,
former employees
16,
of
minute
NWO
14, and then 6
but
minutes.
also those who have escaped their facilities. We welcome anyone, regardless of any factor, to join us in the fight for complete freedom and the mission to hold the organization accountable. While working with with us, your identity will be kept hidden for your safety, the safety of others who share the same goals, and to make sure that NATO.
Can I get unshipped if I get a blood transfusion? Is that how that works?
At the time of this announcement, we have planned another revolution.
I don't even remember what my blood type is, to be honest. It's not really something I think about with enough frequency to really remember.
By using the information given to us from former staff, we can easily achieve this by taking advantage of the flaws of their facilities.
Natus happens to be Satan spelled backwards.
Oh no! Of your thoughts being tracked by the organization when you are with us, as the places we operate and meet up have been thoroughly checked and any surveillance technology purged. Here at the Ministry of Freedom, we prioritize the anonymity and safety of our members, as they are the backbone of the group, and most importantly, are working hard to bring NATO's Incorporated to justice once and for all. The safety of our members is truly no laughing matter, because in the event that the company knows about us, the entire Ministry of Freedom may likely collapse. When joining us, we will need to run a few background checks to prevent any spies or undercover government agents from observing us or attempting to dismantle the group from the inside. Those discovered to be undercover will be instantly exiled and may face further consequences at the hands of the Ministry of Freedom. While we accept complete rebellion against NATO's Incorporated, we will not tolerate betrayal or those who conspire against us to serve the government or the corrupt organization we all oppose. Equally, despite our differences, everyone here can join together to take down the New World Order and those who uphold it to the fullest extent. As our team grows, so does our strength. With more people joining our cause, we are able to allow mass escapes from numerous facilities housing innocent individuals, as well as instigate large-scale riots.
In universe, is it just Britain doing this?
It's important to note that while they believe that they hold more power, they are only a small organization of people, while we are a majority. By allowing further escapes, we can potentially...
The only reason they're able to remain in charge is because the people don't realize that there's a lot more of them.
Incorporated smaller each time. So far, we have recruited 40 people and have no intention of slowing down.
The UK can solve this anytime they feel like.
If one of our members is a spy, you must report him immediately, as you could very well save the Ministry of Freedom. If you're near a member who could be a spy, or secretly
guessing are EU and Commonwealth
nations, UK government, you must get away as far as possible and not say a word about our cause or any plans currently in place. Furthermore, we hope that you find peace and refuge with us as you partake in our persistent fight for freedom and liberation
this is accurate,
for the United Kingdom and the entire world. United we stand, and the stronger we are in numbers, the better we will overcome this tyrannical world order, no matter the cost. Farewell, and may you be a valuable member of the Ministry of Freedom and find sanctuary in our group, knowing that you are safe while being a part of this great cause. A new age is upon us, the age of liberation and peace for not only this country, but also the world and the roaring seas and the blissful skies above.
Oh good, it's happening again. There's a lot of riots happening for some reason. It's almost like all of this was a bad idea.
For all employees who work at NATO's Incorporated. The organization is truly in grave danger. We have been unable to control the growing number of riots and escapes in our facilities, with the vast majority of inmates escaping and now roaming the streets free. As a last resort, all staff are to heavily guard the entrances, and some are required to go off-site and search for escaped prisoners, who could be further exposing society's innocence to their dangerous ideologies and thoughts. This also will increase the chance of the outside world knowing what we do. Upon finding an escapee, you must detain or terminate them right away. The fate of the organization now rests in the hands of the staff here, who have sworn to protect it and keep it from the reach of the public. There is nothing left to lose. We must take action now, no matter how extreme. With that stated, all staff are now required to terminate all inmates in the facility, even those who have not escaped or have participated in any misconduct. You must now kill any inmate on site, as it's likely that all prisoners will eventually escape due to us completely losing control of the facility and those who were previously captured and detained. Extreme measures must also be taken.
If you're going to kill everyone that you have imprisoned, why do you even bother staying at the prison?
Or have come into contact with them. To prevent the public from knowing about us, you must instantly terminate any
You could get away with turning Britain into Super North Korea overnight without people noticing.
While this may sound harsh, we can assure you that your actions will not only make the country and the entire world safer, but also potentially save the very existence of NATO's Incorporated. Since we are on the topic of saving the organization, there have been several...
My eyes are glazing over right now. I want you all to know that.
Bring us down. These groups falsely promise sanctuary for those who threaten the government, and also those who have betrayed us, including former staff. One notable cult that goes by the name of the Ministry of Freedom is a great example of this. This group aims to take the organization down and attempt to expose us, as they widely believe that we are a threat to free speech and democracy.
I wonder why that could be.
This is simply not the case, as we pride ourselves in freedom and only prevent society from being exposed to bad thinkers and speakers. People who have dangerous ideas or speech are the true danger and enemy. However, these cults do not want you to believe that in the slightest. Due to the harmful rhetoric from these so-called groups, NWO Incorporated is likely to collapse, putting many jobs at risk. To prevent
the fries
such an
in the
event,
bag,
we
bro.
will be swiftly dealing with such teams, as well as detaining or even terminating individuals who may be connected to said cult.
Jotted Starmer's response.
Many of you will be tasked with searching for these
Yes.
cult members throughout each major
Yes, it was.
city in the country, and potentially understanding
They're really
how they
doing this on the
operate in order
nose.
to shut them down immediately.
It's almost
These
like
groups
it's
also
happening.
must be taken as a high priority, as they
And
threaten
nothing
the
is being done
foundations
about
of
it.
NWO Incorporated and its existence as a whole. The future of our organization depends on you, as many people may learn about our operations from escapees who are currently roaming the streets, along with reports that one of our facilities has completely collapsed as a result. If
Almost
you
like
see
the evil
any
corpo
suspicious
name is
activity,
just Satan.
you are to take action right away and report it to your higher-ups. Not doing so will make you a traitor in the eyes of the company. Betraying the company will, unfortunately, result in brutal punishment such as execution or being instantly shot.
And
as
so
we
the same
cannot afford
thing.
any further security breaches or incidents at the moment, as we are on the brink of collapse. If you betray us during our darkest hour, you will be met with the most painful but justified demise. While groups such as the Ministry of Freedom may appeal to those who oppose us, it is important to note that although they may seem welcoming at first, this is a tactic used to lure potential new members and then ensure they cannot leave. The group has been known to use blackmail or threats against those who have tried to leave or oppose their ideas. Those who have tried to leave the cult have been met with torture, attempted killings, and even attempts on the lives of those they know and love. It's
How much do
important
they
to note
pay
the
them?
danger
That's a
they
good
pose
question.
to their own members.
Selling out is
establishment
really
itself.
tempting when you look at a check.
The group has been known to use blackmail or threats against those who have tried to leave or oppose their ideas.
Can you just say that?
In the event of you being in distress or needing assistance with any cult members, do not be afraid to call for backup, as we may use our specialized task force to deal with large threats or emergencies of any kind involving those who oppose us. We take these threats extremely seriously, and everyone else on our team is expected to do exactly the same. Words cannot explain how serious of a situation this is, as we have
Executive
never had
decision to
anything
make
this
some
severe that
homemade
could stop
popcorn.
NWO Incorporated or the New World Order.
Is this the
from
type of thing that
operating
warrants a
entirely.
thing of popcorn?
If the New World Order and the organization collapse,
is this the
so
thing?
will the whole nation. The New World Order is essential for this
Did Mulder
country's
and
safety,
Scully
as
expose
it protects
Natus?
the
In like an
innocence of civilians
afternoon, yeah.
from the harms of thoughts and speech. We are the only organization that protects British civilians from the deadly effects of thought crimes and dangerous speech. If NWO Incorporated collapses, society would likely follow and also know about our operations. Like stated before, those
Columbo
who know
taking
about
down
what we
Natus
do,
in 5.2
regardless of their
minutes.
innocence or not, will be terminated without a second thought. While time is running out, it's important not to give up, and neither will our
Would
special
Light
task
Yagami be
forces,
all over
who
this
are
shit
moving
and he'd
towards
be
the majority
pogging
of
at this?
cities at a fast rate.
Or would
It
he
is
be like,
important
these
to note
guys
that
gotta
thought
go?
crimes are still being monitored to this day and will continue to be
Because
so,
he gets kind
unless
of
the current
flip-floppy when it
government or
comes
the
to
New
things that
World
have
Order has
similar
fallen.
ideologies to himself.
It is important to note that thought crimes are still being monitored to this day and will continue to be so unless the current government or the New World Order has fallen. Higher-ups have the authority and access to press a button that would launch a nuclear attack against all our facilities, destroying them if the public becomes aware of NWO Incorporated.
AI video of Batman's contingency plan
we may
against
be
Natus.
likely
You watch
left with
those
no
too? I
choice
watch
to
those
do
with some
so.
frequency.
Hopefully, that will not be the case. However, we must prepare
Genuinely
for a
better
potential
Batman-related
collapse of the company
content that
and
I've
our
had from
facilities,
anything
as
official
well
in
as
a
the
number of
government,
years
which will
now.
soon follow. along with the New World Order for the entire nation, resulting in the complete demise of British society. Farewell for now. The fate of Natas Incorporated now rests in your hands.
Yes, but then we're just in a stalemate now, aren't we? Yeah, you can start marching the armies out in the street. That shit's gonna be resolved in like a week. Using Conroy's voice, yes. I'm aware.
If you have already planned to commit a crime, it's far too late. We are already coming for you. For more information, please visit www.direct.gov.uk.
Telling the military to mass murder civilians usually ends with them going non-complete collapse. In like 100% of circumstances, yeah. Christ, Hitler didn't even go that far, for God's sake. Ugh.
Over the past few weeks, there has been an increase in crime, rebellion, and civil unrest due to a rise in individuals and groups encouraging others to partake in violent misconduct against the nation and the government as a whole. During these past weeks, police and other forces have arrested thousands of civilians for crimes that could discredit or cause harm to others and the establishment. We have also been aware of rumors about a secret shadow organization which works with the government to detain those who oppose us or spread harmful rhetoric. Just know that this is completely false, and anyone caught stating this extreme conspiracy theory will be held accountable to the fullest extent.
This far-right conspiracy theory began with the Russian bots.
Now is the time we put our foot down and stomp it down.
You should listen to us and not them.
From this day forward, it is
I'm gonna
mandatory
fucking
for
die.
UK residents to have digital identification to access essential services such as banking, transport, and even employment. From this day forward, it is mandatory for UK residents to have digital identification to access essential services such as banking, transport, and even employment. Following mass
Every single argument about requiring identification of any kind on the internet boils down to that guy with the Vegeta profile picture called me an asshole. Give me his home address.
Verify your identity and help keep this country safe. This form of digital ID will be tied to
turn on the government if asked to genocide the population. I would fucking hope so.
If you are seen or caught doing unlawful acts, we may deduct currency from your bank account or restrict your usage, whether that be permanent or temporary. Everything that you have and your privileges are now
we'll
owned
arrest
by
anyone
us
who
and
says
can
we
be
don't.
taken away from you, including your own home. If you ever think about committing a crime or act of disobedience to this government, we will not hesitate to take anything away from you and cut you off from society entirely. You also may be held accountable if you are associated with an individual who has also betrayed us, even if it's a family member. Those in your family, including children, may lose certain privileges, such as access to healthcare and further education. By committing a thought crime or an act of disobedience, you will not be doing them any favors, as your actions will harm them. You either comply with us, or you and your family may suffer.
China doesn't even have the funding or manpower to maintain this.
We have also noticed a further increase of
no, they'll invent a problem and then buy up solutions to the problem, even if they're temporary, and then sell them back to everyone else on the planet as a means of trying to make money, despite the fact the whole fucking thing is their fault to begin with.
Regardless if you are online or offline, we can still track you. While this is worrying for most residents, we have been left no choice by the people to take action this extreme. For those who have cooperated, be sure to keep up the good work. We will ensure that you have reasonable access to your bank account funds and other essential services, which can be taken away from you at any time. To those who have thought about not following this emergency broadcast, we are already coming for you.
This is a lot of shitty commercials, you know that? Is there a single place in the UK it still looks this nice, by the way? The 5G towers. They were the enemy all along. Mostly just tourist hotspots. China's big, so it's harder for them. Also, the vast overwhelming majority of China just looks like shitty rice fields.
www.direct.gov.uk/thoughtcrimes.
Even still. It's almost like they only give attention to major cities or something. My son's posting AI computer photos in online chat rooms, isn't it? Dude, why are you dedicating so many videos to just saying the same exact fucking thing with different words? Britain threatening to extradite Americans again and getting mogged for it. As they should.
Always remember, we are always
there are
watching,
boomers that unironically want this for their
or
safety.
the time of day.
I don't think you should be allowed to vote after the age of 60.
www.direct.gov.uk
Or below the age of
crimes.
25, for that matter. Oh, who could have fucking seen that coming?
The following message is for all employees of Natus Incorporated. We regret to inform you that one of our facilities, along with the entire organization, has ceased operations and is now defunct. As you may be aware by now, our facilities and company have been under attack due to mass
UK government
riots and
consider
escapes carried out
anyone
by
under
inmates,
65
as well
as
as
being
the public
young.
becoming aware of our existence.
We
This has
arrested
set
too many
off a chain
people.
of
There's no more
events,
money.
Placing Natus Incorporated and the UK government under an existential threat for a while. Mass protests have become widespread across the country, overwhelming law enforcement, which has been unable to prosecute dangerous thinkers due to the sheer number of riots. We have also been unable to prevent individuals from storming the facility and freeing the remaining prisoners. Many of our facilities have been overrun by members of certain extremist organizations, such as the Ministry of Freedom, who have taken several staff members hostage. Additionally, the assassination of numerous important political figures, including the Prime Minister, has led to the complete collapse of both our organization and the government. As a result, we advise all staff members to flee the building and potentially live under a new identity, which we will provide you shortly. You are currently at risk of harm from the public because many people now know your status, which leaves you very vulnerable and may put your life in danger. Once you have been given a new identity, you are expected to live under it and leave your current life behind or face attacks or assassination attempts by civilians. While abandoning your current life and identity may seem harsh, it is the only way to protect yourself and those around you by leaving immediately, as they too will be at risk due to their association with a former employee of the organization. You may say farewell, but do not disclose your whereabouts or reveal your new identity or life. It is important that you adopt this new identity and embrace a fresh start with new beginnings. Although the government and the organization have collapsed, We will do our best to support you through this transition to your new life. If you believe that you are at risk regardless of your role at Natus Incorporated, you will be offered the best form of protection possible. Your old identities will now be legally considered deceased to further protect you from any fatal assaults and potentially ensure that the Ministry of Freedom believes this, leading to their disbandment and preventing them from being able recruiting new members into their cult. You are not to interact with the Ministry of Freedom under any circumstances. If you are recognized as a member of Natus Incorporated, it will put your life at risk, as well as the lives of everyone inside the organization and former government members who have not been assassinated. While this may sound harsh, we may have no choice but to terminate you if said scenario happens. Do not be afraid to report anyone who attempts to compromise the safety and anonymity of our dedicated team members, as you will not receive any repercussions from doing so, but you will be rewarded with knowing that you made a difference by putting the safety of your fellow members first. With that being said, we need to take extreme measures, as the public now are aware of our very existence.
Did you only hire like 14 people for this operation? Because I feel like you only hired like 14 people for this operation.
Strike on all facilities, destroying them and everything around them. This button will be pressed in a matter of a few minutes. When the button is pressed, you will hear a high-pitched siren. You will be expected to immediately cease what you are currently doing and get as far away as possible from the facility to avoid being caught in the nuclear blast, which can lead to life-threatening injuries and death. You must leave all remaining inmates in the building when evacuating. The nuclear blast will result in a large explosion, which will decimate anything in its proximity and will also release lethal amounts of radiation that can be enough to make you severely ill and even kill you. Nobody is safe or immune during a nuclear strike.
Superman
if you cannot escape in time or have been taken hostage by inmates or those storming the facility, close your eyes and accept your fate with pride, knowing that you have contributed to the New World Order, making the world a safer and better place, even if only for a short while. When you have successfully escaped, you
whole
may
world
embrace your
watching
new
Britain
life
just
and
being the
identity
meme of the guy
immediately.
watching someone blow his brains out.
There have been rumors circulating that residents have managed to overthrow the government following the assassination of the Prime Minister and are attempting to establish an extreme version of their own government intended to replace the current administration. Regardless of whether this is true or not, your life is in grave danger if they recognize you as your old identity.
It's like that meme of the anime girl where like the guy's looking at a black and white picture while she's running the orphanage. And she's standing in front of the gallows like
From the
that.
higher ups at Natus Incorporated, this would not have been
Yep, gotta go. I don't feel like you're outrunning a blast radius for a nuke in 5 minutes, man. I don't feel like you're gonna do that. Unless it's like a microscopic little suitcase nuke that's only really gonna be able to take out, like, the facility itself. Chat. I don't think this is gonna work out very well for anyone involved. Tell me the length of this video is. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you, God. Ah! Is that the end of the playlist? That's the end of the playlist. Okay, so they tried some shit for like a month and then were immediately overthrown by the public. And the entire government collapsed. You really didn't think this through, did you? Can the Brits do fucking anything? Anyway. That was shit. Move on to the next one. Alright, Chastity. We got Dragon Ball. And we got Terminator. And we got Left 4 Dead. And we got Undertale. And we got Children with Black Eyes. And we already watched this one. Make a decision! You did it. You defeated the New World Order. I defeated Hulk Hogan. I guess Left 4 Dead, Black Eyes. We have to come to some kind of consensus. We got Dragon Ball and Terminator and Left 4 Dead and Undertale and Children with Black Eyes. Left 4 Dead, that's good enough for me. Here we go now. I am, in fact, watching the playlist, yes. Oh, God, I fucking hate closed captions. Where's the closed captions? There is no closed captions option, man. Is that just gonna come up after this one? Alright, there it is. There it is.
We are dedicated to keep everybody's loved ones safe and sound, all across the world.
Is this one of those things where you're not subtitling the videos, you're just using the closed captions so spooky text can come on the screen sometimes? Yeah! I like the safe room! Are the closed captions on? This means it's on, right? Right? There it is. Default to the canon language. They're never making a third one of these, are they? They're never going to explain what the hell that even is. You really like the specific animation of the door opening, huh? Is it opening or is it spinning? I assumed the animation was meant to represent opening the safe room door and then going inside and then turning around and closing it. You know, that thing that you do every time you play the game. Oh no, it's spooky. Remaining Left 4 Dead people are spread all over Valve. I'm so glad Back 4 Blood failed. Because holy fuck. Trying to discredit that video of Left 4 Dead versus Back 4 Blood. Was he a shill? That sounds like shill activity. Because of some of the jank Left 4 Dead had and how Left 4 Dead 2 was inferior. I don't know if that tracks. Back 4 Blood managed to get a dedicated fan base of speedrunners just to nerf all speedrun strats in fact. It's always nice when that happens, isn't it? When the devs, like, destroy any fun that you were having playing something. The build is too strong, we have to nerf it. I have a very distinct memory of one of the patches for Dark Souls 2 back in the day nerfing the shit out of all miracles. Despite the fact the entire premise is that miracles are stronger, but they're less plentiful than sorceries. And then you just made the distinction much, much less appealing. Because the damage drop-off was just too immense to warrant just not having more uses of something. What if you just rip the lockers off the walls and nail them to the door? Is it that gentleman in the corner? I don't believe you. No. That's not how that works, sorry. I hate to break it to you kids, but if someone as a result of a zombie virus is technically not undead, that does not make them human still. Sorry. We're not doing this revisionist shit. Who's pushing the law on the zombie apocalypse? Minneapolis. No, I saw it. I mentioned it. You named it the Starer? You named the new special infected variant the Starer? Abuela. Is this a normal thing in your introductory tape? Sans eye. Hey, I've been there.
The origin of the Starer's physical appearance is unknown at this time. This infected stalks non-infected from the shadows effectively, and even if the victim spots the Starer, it may not even care that it's been seen. If the Starer is hidden in the shadow well enough, in which they usually are, the only thing visible will be their gleaming eye. When a Starer is stalking an individual, they are not always...
Is the Starer watching from the chair?
Survivability is low with an 81% mortality rate for hostile encounters. They are fast, strong, and persistent, no matter the age of the infected. They will almost stop at nothing to hunt down their prey, mutilating them...
Cockchair special infected. That's what makes them special.
High thought is speculating to be a prey. This profile does not include the... that... other thing.
I like the safe room. It makes me feel safe. Chad, I like Left 4 Dead a lot more without Common Infected, I'll be honest. Like a significant amount more.
We are dedicated to keep everybody's loved ones safe and sound, all across the world.
You'd think the news wouldn't still be up and running in this universe. Isn't the infection in Left 4 Dead limited exclusively to America, by the way, and everyone else is doing fine? Isn't what happens in Left 4 Dead specifically, like, isn't the cast of Payday, like, really specifically responsible for all this shit, by the way? Didn't that happen? That happened, right?
Do you need
Spread to the world just takes place in America?
City of Savannah? If you do, come book a place at the Vanna. with state-of-the-art clean and comfortable bedrooms and baths, highly dedicated
You know, it does look
staff,
like a nice hotel
and
with nothing.
service working throughout the day and night, an award-winning breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Famous for the very Jimmy Gibbs choosing to stay
The
with
most
us on
high-quality
several
hotel I've ever been in was a Holiday Inn.
Need a place to stay at Savannah? Just
I've only
head to
been in one of those like twice in my life.
8 out of 10 Americans unknown.
Did we need to use the Zalgo text for the closed captions on that one? Chat, why are there so many people that want the remake of RE1 that's a remake of RE1 to also include like a prologue section where you're just walking around the RPD and everything's normal? Why do they want that? Chat, I watched another video about how much the RE3 remake sucks. I watched another one because I can never get enough of people saying the truth. Zomboid play with the idea that they successfully contained the infection with you being trapped, then retconned it to the whole world was infected. That sounds really dumb. Break the walls down! Explained it all in a laheckin' epic Twitter ARG. Chad, I think we need to get rid of ARGs as a concept. I really think we do. I don't think there's anything positive to be gained from ARGs in current year. All right?
CEDA center with an evacuation zone for the public. We can guarantee supplies,
He's
safety,
coming out.
shelter,
The
and
candle.
evacuations for anybody that wishes. We will
I'm
be
going for the
handling
fridge
VHS
again.
tapes with our CEDA care packages,
Ugh.
which in themselves will come
You know, one of
with
these
hefty
days, someone
amounts
who's
of
not
supplies,
aware of my
which
habits is going
will
to tune
teach
into
you
one of these
about
streams for
how
the
to
first time and just
construct your
assume
own
I'm reaching
safe
into the fridge for a
about
beer with the way I
individuals
speak.
infected with green flu,
Eh.
immunity to the pathogen, and many more helpful tapes for the people who wish to stay in Savannah. When you arrive, if this evacuation center is too crowded for your liking, there is another evacuation center at Liberty Mall. To do circumstances rapidly escalating in these uncertain
You didn't crop
times,
out the crosshair,
don't
man.
hold off on visiting the centers. If
You didn't
things
crop out the
escalate, we don't
crosshair
know
from your
how long
spooky
these
image, man.
centers will take any more people. If you are infected, or if you think you are, we advise you to distance yourselves from others. Make your way to one of the centers.
Isn't the
and
infection
announce your
rate
possible infection.
for this series
We will
like
take the proper
99%
amount of
because it's both
precautions to take
airborne
you in
and saliva?
attempt to treat you. These are really uncertain times, but with
Back
your help and cooperation.
When
the right
Overwatch
light is
added
thoroughly
Sombra and did an
invisible.
ARG for it, some users were saying it was actually Blizzard teasing WoW Classic. Ugh. Mm. The delicious taste of mug. Has anyone ever ripped these maps from the game and put them into Half-Life 2? And, like, tried to do something with it? Nature took over in a day and a half? That's some advanced growth. Dude, I'm not clicking on your fucking side link or something. I'm not doing that. I'm not clicking on your secret YouTube link. That's not... No, we're not doing that. Oh, the joy that I feel in this moment.
We are dedicated to keep everybody's loved ones safe and sound, all across the world.
Why is your logo rainy? Wouldn't the commons just starve themselves after long enough? It seems like a problem we could all just ignore, to be honest. Ruined that with the sequels. Oh. The cure to green flu is codeine mixed with Sprite. Well, that'll cure basically anything. That's just cheating. Could you not find someone to, like, throw on a shitty, like, microphone filter to imitate a guy in a helmet talking for this? I feel like that would have been really simple. Ah! Good. The epilepsy scream. The Vor infected. Got it. The texture missing infected. Oh, it's Abuela. Abuela killed them. You know, I feel like a flamethrower would solve the vast majority of problems with special infected. You know, I feel like if you get like 17 guys just simultaneously shooting at a tank, it's not going to be able to walk forward. I think it's gonna be too busy trying to cover its fucking face up and then getting knocked back by 17 rifles shooting them simultaneously. Coach doesn't know there's a zombie apocalypse going on. He just thinks the race war started. He just starts quoting Uncle Ruckus.
Hello. We welcome and congratulate you on passing the CEDA faculty requirements.
Ah, good. British AI voice woman. I feel like we just met.
However, due to the crisis the northeast of the US is facing by the hands of green flu, the training will have to be rushed in some places. Once the situation with green flu is stable, you shall receive the finer details of your training you will miss. Now, let's get started.
I love British accents for my American Emergency Response Agency. It's exotic.
There are many types of CEDA agents for different potential worldwide scenarios and disasters.
How many British AI voiceover women? Too many.
Your job is to go to affected areas.
I'm losing my mind.
There's a viral or biological risk or danger to civilians.
Utterly honest, I don't think the U.S. would ever be overcome by an outbreak. Isn't that the whole deal with World War Z? Is that shit got solved really quick?
Pennsylvania in the USA. Green flu has mutated. This mutation has turned green.
And then they made a really generic movie about it that has nothing to do with the book.
We have quarantined an office building that seems to have had the first case of this new version of green flu. This infected individual with a green flu brutally and violently began attacking their co-workers, even killing some due to the injuries they had sustained. It is thought that due to green flu's
the book gets kind of stupid. Does it?
This mutation, everybody in the building is infected with this new strain. We have quarantined the infected person family and are doing contact tracing to avoid the potential.
Are the zombies editing the tapes to be spooky? Is that what I'm gathering from this, by the way? Which was worse, World War Z or the Mario Brothers movie 1993? I'm gonna say World War Z is a worse film overall.
With the green flu going rampant in Fairfield, and public awareness starting to catch on that something is wrong, we have decided to air an emergency broadcast, and make this new version of green flu public knowledge to the world. We have also decided to start opening CEDA centers around the city, to start handing out information, supplies, and shelter.
World War Z has the zombie human literal wave case closed. That shit was dumb.
Is in the wonderful No Mercy Hospital. This CEDA center will be the only one in the city as of right now to have an evacuation zone. It will be your job, as a part of the Viral and Health Task Force.
You know, I once heard someone suggest that the green flu started as a result of multiversal bullshit when Gordon Freeman went to Zen, and I think I felt the urge to punch them in the face. The origin was the chicken flu from the boondocks. You know that time Starfire went through alien puberty, and then at the end of the episode, after everything was solved, the narrator's like, everything was fine until Beast Boy got the chicken pox. I don't think it's an epidemic if I feel completely fine, to be honest. Unbothered, moisturized.
Here are the protocols for evacuation in New Orleans. Louisiana brought by the United States government with the assistance of CEDA Associates. All citizens will all be wearing a filtration mask to prevent the spread of green flu if it decides to mutate to be airborne. If you see a citizen with their mask off or with it compromised, lethal force is authorized. When citizens enter the evacuation zone in gather masks, they will be lined up and sent to each station in groups of 10. If a person for whatever reason leaves their assigned group, lethal force is authorized. If a person starts to make erratic movement, jolts, or starts to walk, run towards armed or working associates, lethal force is authorized. All citizens must hand and all belongings.
At this point, it's easier to tell me what I'm allowed to do without being euthanized.
Potential spread of green flu at the green flu screen checkpoint. If a person has one or more
Chat, that game where you're like a guy at a zombie like checkpoint thing that people were playing like a month or two ago, is that something I should look into streaming? You know, the one where you look at people and tell if they're infected with bullshit or not? Virgin CEDA, wash your hands, Chad military, kill them all. I feel like the series is turning the green flu into the flood for some reason. Because I'm getting a very strong Gravemind vibe from this dialogue. Where you're doing like a hive mind thing with the Zambambos. Green flu makes you write gay poetry. Huh. Oh my God, go for the exit. The ducks, they found me. I don't know how, but they found me. "7 days to die, self-report explains everything." Well, but are the boomers editing the tapes? It's entirely possible.
Make sure to get downstairs too, because I don't want Murphy yelling at my ass.
But I couldn't get the model, so I chose the other zombie game. You boys having a nice conversation? I'm not following your secret YouTube link that shows up in the closed captions. I'm not doing that. We're not going down that road, man. That's not happening. You're not that guy, pal. Did Philly D make this series with all the secret links? Oh. Huh. Everything hurts. Very, very much. Oh. Huh. Yeah, this is more what I expected. Rough time going on in here, huh? That added a shadow special infected that makes no noise, insta-kills you, and can only die to fire. That sounds unbelievably annoying. Very scary. Operation Copeverse. Removed characters talking because the modder thought it was annoying. You have to make the voice this distorted? Is it necessary? Is it Jesus? Is Jesus the answer? Is it the solution to all my problems? Why was there an office building underground? And you know what? Never mind. I'm not doing your secret YouTube thing, man. We're not. No. It's not happening. One of my favorite words. How much longer is this? How much longer is this? Not all that much longer. Not terribly. Did that work out for them? I'm going to think that would work out for them. Bury audio recordings in lead boxes deep beneath the earth. That is the way of things. Uh-huh. What now? Left 4 Dead beta spooky dark truthers claiming that's the superior version compared to retail and Left 4 Dead 2. Those people are demented.
I'm gonna help you out this year, and once I open this door, I want you to exit out with your hands up.
Is a special infected just designed to talk to you, and that's all it does? Is that what this one, is that the only thing this one does? Right. Very frightening.
Loved ones safe and sound all across the world.
Warning, this footage is only authorized for viewing for CEDA faculty in the United States government. Please discard tape immediately. Warning, this footage is only authorized.
I heard you the first time, woman.
In the United States government. Please discard tape immediately.
Are we going back to this hotel again? Talking really fast right now, you know that, man?
associates or evacuees. This includes any type of infected/non-infected individuals of all kinds, including carriers. Carriers are individuals who are infected with
Left 4 Dead beta on YouTube and saw a playlist Left 4 Dead beta slop. Holy base!
Even if the individual is not rabid like most green flu infected, they still have the capacity to spread green flu as easily as a normal infected would, posing a safety threat to everybody around them. If there is a carrier that has been identified throughout the evacuation and the carrier center is already full, take them to the designated quarantine area.
These ain't zombies. Somebody's been shooting people. Somebody? Christ, Coach, you know who did that.
My God, you actually put some character in this. It's amazing. I'm not following your YouTube link secret. No, we're not. No. Oh, it's him! Uh-huh. This is going on a while, isn't it? Payday Gang making an appearance, a special infected making that crossover heist canon in this spooky verse. Coffee! Shipping the carriers to Epstein Island.
All right, son. I think it's about time we stop skipping around the bush. Explain it to me.
AI coach, I always knew you were real. Scout? Hey, you?
What happened?
I like all of those things.
Look, David said you just wanted to live with the outside the wall, not inside of it. Jesus Christ. Now you got so hands in your kill. Why don't they both go inside the perimeter that I've been clear or says? Why? Fucking why? That's the only two people I could tell her I've been murdered by some fucking MSI. She just said I was gonna cover for them and still be alive.
Because he heard they had an all-you-could-eat burger bar. That's not beef, coach, no!
You just said Sergeant's up on one feathers that we're going to clear out Baltimore. I'm all for that idea. We have to go here now. Not only because it's a part of our duties, not only because of revenge, but to figure out what the hell killed those two guys.
My God, a budget.
Fifth Ward. Message from Civil Emergency Defense Agency. Hello, this is the fifth time we have tried reaching you, Sergeant Dunkeld. We are once again begging you to please not follow through with your plan to clear out Liberty Mall. Two brave wage members under your unit have passed due to a new world special infected that resides inside the building. It is up in the air what else could reside in that mall, and you will only be placing more members of your unit at risk. Do not make an emotionally charged decision.
My eyes are doing that thing where I need to blink heavier.
Please contact us back with all information known about this special infected, so we can help your unit formulate a next plan of action. Thank you.
This is some weird, wild, wily shit.
Alliance for Green Flu Eradication. Hello, Sergeant Dunkeld. We have received confirmation on your intentions to clear out Liberty Mall. Make sure you have enough soldiers to clear out that NSI, as it killed 2 good men. And about CEDA, if you think, if you know, that clearing out the mall now is the best course of action, proceed with it. Update us once you have cleared out the mall.
Why don't you just carpet bomb the entire fucking city?
It was a massacre, Jones. It started with the whole David and Xavier thing, Dom being the first to die in that wall. Then Dunkeld gave the order.
European hands made this video.
Despite CEDA's warnings, Dunkeld only admitted after the fact that CEDA tried to convince him not to go move. He could have prevented 20 of us from stepping foot into that building. At
No,
first,
it's him!
Everything seemed empty. I knew something felt off. Like something was watching me. But every time I looked, I saw nothing.
Why don't you just lock the starer in the fucking crossface?
What we didn't realize at the time was that we were being followed.
He's been following us for 3 days.
We didn't know that the mall was the home to a whole group of those high fuckers. They apparently were following us from the back, silently, without being noticed.
Rate verse in which the special infected are just infected with special needs. Seems more likely than you think. Uh-oh. Hey, you have 2 glowy eyes. Oh, you're a big fella. Oh, you're a big boy. Was it the witch in blackface?
They charged from the front, and the eye infected ambushed us from the back, trapping and pinning us. Yelling, screaming, bullets everywhere.
And thus we dubbed it the Basher.
It wasn't that, my God, that I'm just sitting here now laying down in that all ripped to shreds. You wanted to know what happened? There, that's my summary.
Coach, shouldn't you be actively infecting this man because you're technically infected? It's just you're asymptomatic.
Thank you, CEDA benefactors, for your generous support.
You get Patreon support for this shit? The cut to Coach just made me think of the Giga Chad pig. Stop looking at me, freak. Stop it. Ugh. Oh boy.
We are dedicated to keep everybody's loved ones safe and
A
sound.
one-man
all across the world.
cheeseburger apocalypse. You and me both, man. Right? Why is green flu so sexy? Every now and then you need a really sexy instrument for your introduction. Are you a 1 or 2 crew user? Now you know that's a loaded question. Uninstall and switch to killing floor use. Is that the disgusting biomass that makes up the human body? You know, maybe all the special infected are just fed up for not being able to jerk off since their dicks all fell off from the infection. Really, if you just put one of those helmets from the Star Wars holiday special on them that stimulates the pleasure center of their brain, this whole situation could be solved. You remember that happening? That bit in the Star Wars holiday special where Chewie's dad or his granddad or whatever just puts on a VR helmet and starts jacking it in the living room? That was real. George Lucas made that. Now, at least the subtitles and me are in line. Ori's been passively killing me since I met him. This isn't new to me. You remember that time I punched you in the dick in front of all your friends? Remember? That was a good evening. The fact that it came out before Empire, too. The introduction of Boba Fett into the Star Wars franchise. The Mandalorian, for some reason, would also later have the gun that Boba Fett had in that animated segment. You punching or harming someone. I don't think Vice would have been able to survive childhood if I had been around. How's the alternate universe where the holiday special killed Star Wars looking? Probably better overall. There's a distinct lack of very high-quality sci-fi adventure films. But in general, overall, it is probably better off. You forget where I was raised. The mean streets of Harlem. You're succumbing to the infection and becoming one of them. Soon you will be a tiny little monkey. Dune gets slotted in and blows up earlier. Yeah, that would track, actually, wouldn't it? Remember that guy who was able to stave off T-virus zombification for like a month just by eating a shit ton of deli meat? There's a note in the RE2 remake that describes something like that, too, now that I think about it. When they're doing the G-virus experiments, there's a guy who had a T-virus resistance. And he, like, held on for a long time, and then the G got introduced, and he's like, all right, I'm done. Is that the end of the playlist? Is that the whole thing? Is it done? That's the end of the playlist, apparently. Well, wasn't that an adventure and a half, Chathany? All right, chat. Pick the next thing. We got time for one more thing. Rate chances of user Weissenthal owning a swamp puppy. 17. We got Dragon Ball and Terminator and Undertale and Children with Black Eyes. Black Eyes? Yeah, okay. This video's 53 minutes, by the way. Strap yourselves in. Hold on to your dicks. Give me a black eye. I feel like that's your boyfriend. I feel like that's something you should be asking your boyfriend, I'll be honest. Oh, fuck that. We got an hour to kill. I'm also going to turn off closed captioning because I've never liked closed captioning anytime it comes up in anything. That year. It was a terrible year for many reasons. You can still feel the scorching heat from that day. Brother, a victim wanted for questioning. Oh, God. Oh, it's going to get bad. With glasses that big, killing that kid was an act of mercy. Beware the black-eyed peas. Be a retelling of the blistering summer.
Much has been said about the murder of Wendy and Harold Peterson, the disappearance of their son Daniel, and the arrest of Harold's brother Greg Peterson.
Death penalty for what they did to Nash is a bit extreme, to be honest.
Others say Greg was jealous of the life his brother had. Many believe it was a fight that just got out of hand. And then there are those who believe that what happened that night was
I
something
always feel like
something not so easy to explain. For that story, we need to look at the journals of Daniel Peterson. Most of what he wrote seems to be the result of an overactive imagination. Perhaps there is more truth to these child stories than the ones we accept as fact. But we will let you be the judge.
Mabel looking to strike again.
Harold and Wendy Peterson were well known and well liked in the community. Harold was a very
Afraid to wash my hair and see King Mabel standing there. That's a genuine fear to have.
for school board. Wendy was very involved with the Kate's Crossing Catholic Church, as well as many other local charities. Teachers said Daniel Peterson was a very shy, creative, and incredibly sweet child. He didn't have many friends and preferred to spend his lunches in the library. Daniel was also a victim of bullying. Despite his complaints, little was done. The administration's lax approach is what led Harold to run for school board.
Kate Crossing is the same place where Children Under the House happened. Got it. Boy, this town's fucked, isn't it?
September 8th. Today was another bad day.
Jesus, I can barely hear this.
Friends ambushed me in the bathroom. Again. They gave me another swirly. Now everyone is calling me poo-poo hair.
You deserve this, child, I'll be honest. We'll watch this VOD and be confused by all the Summer of 92 references. Is the player volume all the way up? Yeah? Yeah, it is.
I wish they'd leave me alone. I should tell Dad, but I hate the way he looks at me when I do. It's like he's ashamed that I can't defend myself. When he asked me how my day was, I just told him it was good. I did get the highest grade on the math test. I just made sure I showered before he got home.
How'd you do that?
Uncle Greg showed up at dinner. I like Uncle Greg. He's so much more fun than Dad. I don't know why Dad calls him a hopeless bum. The good news, he's going to be staying with us for a few weeks. Best part is Dad will be focused on him and not me for a change. September 8th continued. Dad hammered Uncle Greg. I've never seen someone take so much abuse. I think he almost cried.
Just a little domestic abuse in front of the child never hurt anyone.
That's when
School
things
showers.
got kind of weird.
I don't think that... Is it normal over there or something?
Sometime around midnight, I heard something wandering around the kitchen. I went to check it out, but no one was there.
1992 hammered until he's about to cry.
Greg standing in the front yard just staring at the sky.
He's ascending to a higher plane.
I really didn't know what to do, so I tried talking to him. I didn't want to ask Dad for help. I asked him what he was looking at. He didn't reply, just pointed at the stars.
Fabled wrestler.
I eventually got him back to his room. He didn't say anything until I got him back in bed. He looked at me and he was very scared. He said, "They've come back."
The ducks.
I asked what came back. "You'll see," he replied before passing out. Why does this crap happen on a school night? Oh well, I have bigger problems to worry about. I need to figure out how to get through the day without ending up face first in the toilet. Again. September 9th. I asked
The
him
wrestler was
what he was
confused.
looking at last night. I kinda got the sense he had no idea what I was talking about, though.
He's off on the sauce and doesn't know what's happening. It's going to get stranger the more this goes on, isn't it? You flip it sideways. Looks like a pair of yabos.
When Harold started pulling in front of incumbent Mike Singer, the race for school board became incredibly nasty. Singer had been on the board for the last decade and was generally liked, so it was a surprise to see so many voters give their support to the challenger.
Which guy is getting your vote?
Neither
The
were
one that's
opposed
relevant to my own
equally to the
interests
other,
and
on
has
several
me in mind
occasions,
for the
two
future.
candidates nearly came to blows.
But none of them.
The most known of the two was a shouting match in the middle of the Burger Shack's lunch crowd. The race for the Kate's Crossing School Board had never been so exciting.
September 15th. Unfortunately, I think poo-poo hair is permanent. Great. It'll probably end up on my tombstone.
This is gonna be what Thief's gravestone looks like.
They even made up a song for me. He's got poo in his hair. It stinks and he doesn't care. So hold your nose when Daniel's near, or he'll bring your eyes a tear. Because he's got poo in his hair. Not gonna lie, it's catchy when a group sings it. I hate it here. I wish Dad would lose the election. Maybe we'd move somewhere.
Oh, should I do it? Yes!
Like anywhere on Earth. I'd even settle for someplace off-world too. Uncle Greg is
Yes!
walking.
At last!
Every night I find him staring at the sky. I still have no idea what he's looking at. I've even found him out there in the rain. Dealing with him makes the mornings pretty hard. Makes class a little harder than I'd like. Thankfully, Dad's been focused on campaigning. Most of the time he's talking to people, putting signs on roads and whatever else. Mom's usually with him, so it's mostly Uncle Greg and me. Really, it's just me. Uncle Greg just stares at the television. Dad yelled at him last night because of it. Dad really is loud when he wants.
That is a big fucking mustache, man. That is irregularly large. That is well
I
groomed.
think he cares. Mom says he has problems expressing himself. It got louder and louder until this bright red light blasted through the window. And that's when he appeared.
The pee-pee poo-poo man.
Oh my God. Peter Pan is in my bedroom. He was floating there. He was green.
Was his skin green, or?
Man wasn't alien.
Child, I think you might have seen a Martian, I'll be honest.
I could see, but I could hear him speaking to me. Some of it felt like words, but mostly I remember images. Confusing but intense images.
The following images are in the order in which Daniel arranged them.
Martian's alternate 7 video package. I'm up in your brain, son. So afraid, I'm so scared I met 1/3 of the longest reigning trios champions. Wanted to prevent the tragedies of the blistering summer, but failed. You're in danger, dumbass. They're coming. The glowies are going to cover this one up as well. I would assume, yeah. He got lost and went to the wrong house. Well, that's foreboding. Screenshot in lobby as requested. I've seen. Maria Robotnik.
And then he left. That morning, Uncle Greg woke me up. There was a weird glow in his eyes. He smiled. Told me, now you see them too.
I don't know if that's a good thing, Gregory. He bit with the black-eyed children.
He was right, too. I was understanding the images better. Peter wanted me to come with them.
Undecided. We can discuss.
I have no idea. But definitely away from here. Can't lie. Sounds like a big plus to me. It was clear that they did something to Uncle Greg, Dad, and me. That's why I don't fit in with other kids. No,
The aliens are in your gray matter, child.
something else. Part of me must
You're a
be
sleeper agent now.
Honestly, it's kind of a relief. At least I have a reason to feel so alien.
Gotta dig it out with a screwdriver.
If I stay, I would have a chance at a normal life. But do I even want that? Would I ever want that? Maybe not. I don't want to hurt my parents. But why? Were we just experiments? Why was Dad and me considered a success and Uncle Greg a failure? Poor Uncle Greg. Even the aliens give him a hard time. And what about Mom? Did they experiment on her too? If so, what did they do to her? If not, why?
She bitched at them too much to warrant. Turns out aliens don't understand women either.
And then there's the danger. I don't think they understand what's going on between Mr. Singer and Dad. I can see why they would think it was a dangerous situation. Earlier today, we saw Mr. Singer accept something about exposing it. Whatever. This sounds stupid. That set Mr. Singer off. It's kind of embarrassing to watch. But if you did see it, I'm sure you thought they were going to kill each other.
Oh my god, they're powering up. It's happening. My father is a master of the Kaioken.
For Peter to come, but never did. September 21st. Nothing to report. Still nothing from the aliens. September 22nd. Nope. September 23rd. Maybe he's not coming back. September 24th. No alien, but today was a big one. I don't know if I just had enough, or if I was just tired, but when Jake pushed me today, I just snapped. I hit him. I never hit anybody before, but I finally hit him. I broke his nose. I even cracked one of his ribs. He tried to fight back, but he moved so slowly. It was easy. It really surprised me. Why did I wait so long to stand
The
up?
aliens taught you intrinsic techniques to self-defense in hand-to-hand combat.
One of the kids finally pulled me off. That was the first time I really saw what I did. Jake was crying and his face was covered in blood. Lots of blood. I just knew Dad was going to be proud of me. I got suspended for 3 days. Doesn't seem fair. I suffer from moss and nothing happens. But the moment I defended myself, I get suspended. I hate this place so much. So what if he had to go to the hospital? Maybe next time he'll think twice before giving someone a swirly.
I feel like that whole thing is grounds for attempted murder by drowning, to be honest. You could really play up that angle.
Well, Dad, he was anything but proud. Angry, mad,
I win a fight and get 3 days off.
Crazy. Those words probably described him a lot better. He said I may have ruined his chances at school board. Wow. Thanks, Dad. Glad to know where I rank. And Mom, she was no better. The only thing she cared about was the hospital bills. I guess it was better for everybody when I was bullied.
Black-eyed children, one of the lamest cryptids. They're fine. They're alright. Mid-card, I would say. The baby! Powerful psychers. A psionic build is never to be underestimated. Uh-oh, it's happening. Martians don't have an internal skeleton and just deflated. There's a reason this strategy was so effective at the end of Signs.
Even though I was unconscious, my mind was still receiving images. I saw things I could never dream of, and different viewpoints of things I thought I understood. It was both amazing and terrifying.
Did you know that a snowball actually has 70 sides?
I saw why they considered Uncle Greg a failure. His DNA didn't meld with theirs successfully. It caused him issues.
This would explain the Candle Cove incident a little bit.
This may seem cruel, but Peter's people are far from cruel. They are beyond war, greed, indifference. Us. They tried to repair their mistakes, but apparently it didn't work. Uncle Greg just became more withdrawn, depressed, unpredictable.
Started watching
He's out of
WWE.
tune with them. He can hear them speaking when they are near. And Dad, they asked Dad to go with them years ago. He chose to stay. Wow, I wouldn't be here if he decided to go. They wiped his mind so he wouldn't remember. And then they just waited for me.
Floating, hearing that many voices.
September 28th. Second day of my 5-day suspension. Mom had me doing chores. She didn't say much, but I could hear some of her thoughts. She was thinking about the vacation we would have to cancel due to Jake's hospital bills. Worth it. Day 3, dusting the furniture. I noticed Uncle Greg has been watching me. Does he suspect something? I tried to read his mind, but I couldn't. We went to the grocery store after lunch. I couldn't read any stranger's mind either. I guess I need practice.
You're developing your powers too soon, child.
More campaigning with Dad.
You're gonna Jean Grey the entire
He didn't
town
say
at this
much,
rate.
But I heard him loud and clear. Last day of suspension. Rake the leaves in the morning, then back on the campaign trail with Dad in the afternoon. We ran into Singer again. He actually apologized to Dad. It was shockingly nice. Too nice. He even took us to a late lunch. I'm starting to think the reason it's easier to read my parents' minds is because they're my parents. But I was getting something from this guy. Every time he said something nice, it felt like an insult. The nicer he acted, the more it bothered me. But I kept trying, and then it happened. A stray thought from Mr. Singer's head popped into mine. It'll be all over soon. Something about that comment felt wrong.
He's in on it. That son of a bitch. Are we approaching the climax? We are. Oh boy. It's almost there. Oh God in heaven. Literal school election too seriously if the alternative idea I'm thinking happens.
October 3rd. And just like that, everything was back to normal. Uncle Greg started acting normal. Mom took me to Blockbuster for movie night.
Base
It's been
Blockbuster!
a while since we did one of those. Dad apologized for making the fight about the election. A rare, cool move from Dad. At dinner time, they even told me that they were proud that I finally stood up for myself. However, breaking Jake's ribs was a step too far. Fair enough. We can agree to disagree.
What did he rent in the summer of '92? You don't want to know.
For a brief moment, we were all kind of normal. It's nice. But it's easier to leave mad. Much easier. But I know there's no going back when choosing Peter's people. I'm changing, and eventually the outside will match what's happening on the inside.
That summer got notes about I know what you did last summer. It's more likely than you think. And then the gunshot rang out.
I hope Dad wins the election. I hope Mom gets to travel more. I'm not sure if it's against the rules, but I'm going to come back and visit them. One way or another, I'm going to make sure they're okay.
I don't think it's going to work out, child.
Even school was pleasant. The kids were actually friendly for once. Everybody was so amazed at what I did to Jake. They all gave me high fives in the lunchroom. I even got high fives from Jake's friends. Why did everyone wait until I decided to leave to be friends? I guess that's my fault. I shouldn't have let a bully scare me away from the world. October 5th, and just when I thought things were getting back to normal, Uncle Greg returned to his old ways. Uncle Greg lunged at me during breakfast. "Why are they coming for you?" he asked over and over. He just shook his head and told me to forget about it. But I could see in his head. He remembers the experiments.
That was the last journal entry from Daniel Peterson. Nothing about October 8th appeared unusual. Wendy spent most of the day running errands and helping the church. Harold met several clients that morning, then campaigned for school board the rest of the afternoon. Even Daniel reportedly had a quiet day. Greg Peterson spent the day visiting the many bars of downtown Cade's Crossing. No one reported him being in any trouble. Later that night, Harold and Wendy Peterson were shot point-blank range with a shotgun. The coroner estimated that the time of death was about 2:30 a.m. The weapon, nor their son, have ever been found. Greg Peterson was found wandering the woods 2 days later. He claimed that the black-eyed children left him there, as well took his nephew. Traces of Harold Peterson's blood were found on his clothes. During the trial, the defense filed a motion stating that Greg Peterson was not fit to stand trial. The motion failed. The defense went on to argue that the evidence was circumstantial. Greg Peterson was found guilty and given the death penalty. He was executed in 2002.
That's rough, buddy.
And then the Peterson sad story fell into the macabre history of Cade's Crossing, leaving only the urban legend of otherworldly visitors. However, in 2019, the Peterson story resurfaced. Mike Singer, now retired, reportedly called the police and told them that he saw Daniel Peterson He was grown but not human. His skin looked green and his eyes appeared black. He told the police, "Daniel knows, and he's come back for me." When the police investigated, they found Mr. Singer had hung himself in his
Yeah, you do your job, kid.
His now famous suicide note confessed to hiring a pair of thugs to murder the Petersons. He went on to explain that he was blackmailed by the now infamous Dunnington Construction, and he needed to be in a position to approve their bids for new school projects. He concluded his note with "Beware the children with black eyes."
Yeah, that's politics. That was enjoyable. Assassinating someone over a school board election is extreme. This is a subplot you'd see in Bully. Jimmy, I'll give you $5 if you go in there and shoot these two. Eight came back for revenge after 7 ate him. That was fun. That was nice. That was enjoyable. All right. Thank you for coming by the stream. I appreciate it. If you want to know when streams are going to be or what we're going to be doing on any given day, scroll down just a little bit, hit the link. Follow me on Twitter. YouTube's there. Stream there also. VODs highlights of the streams. Give that a sub if you like. Patreon's down there. A little bit of support as long as I help. You can get the incredible bye-bye. Yeah. And thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably poll whatever you people want. And we can make some decisions from there. But otherwise, thanks. I appreciate it. I will catch everyone again in the next one. You take care now, kids. Goodbye.